Hello everyone, my name is Kharappa Malemganbi, a second semester MEd student of RIE Bhubaneswar, and today I will be presenting types of school based on the paper secondary education. First of all, let us know what an administration of a school does. It involves the management of all school operations, from creating a safe learning environment to managing the budget. To further define school administration, one needs to consider the different areas of school administration and who perform these school administrative duties. There are mainly four different types of school in India. The first one is public or government schools. The second one is private schools. And the third one is national open schools. And the fourth one is special schools for special children. Now let us discuss about the government schools in India. There are two types of government school in India. The first one, state government school. The second one, central government schools. The state government schools built in rural areas under Sarva Shiksha Abhiyan is meant for compulsory education for children under 14 years. And central government schools are affiliated to CBSE and built under MHRD. The schools built under Sarva Shiksha Abhiyan offer midday meal scheme which attracts children from extremely poverty-stricken families. The government runs these schools in land and building owned by the government and pays the staff from its own resources. The fees are quite low or free of cost. Now let us discuss about central government schools. It is a system of central government that have been instituted under Ministry of Human Resource Development. All schools are affiliated to Central Board of Secondary Education. The fees are affordable and are free in some schools like JNVs. Other offers many schemes for economically weaker society. The medium of instruction is usually English or Hindi. The objective of central schools like Kendra Vidyalaya is to educate children of Indian Defence Services personnel and other transferable government workers. It is to provide quality education to the children wherever they are. Now, let us discuss about the state schools. All state schools are funded by government. Schools that are under the control of local council are generally known as maintained schools. They are maintained by the local council. State government schools are built under Sarva Shiksha Abhiyan and free midday meals are provided. All state schools follow the national curriculum and are not allowed to select students on the basis of academic ability, unless they are state grammar schools. Each state has its own Department of Education that runs its own school system with its own textbooks and evaluation systems. As mentioned earlier, the curriculum, pedagogy, and evaluation method are largely decided by SCERTs in the state, following the national guidelines prescribed by the NCERT. Teaching medium of state schools are usually regional languages, and most of the state schools follow state prescribed boards. Now let us come to private schools. They are privately owned schools with their own land and buildings. Such schools mostly cater to the urban middle class families. The mode of communication of many private schools is English. Private schools try to inculcate English in the daily life of the students. In fact, now most of the private institutions teach other foreign languages besides English, attracting more parents. Though private schools try to provide top-notch facilities for overall development of the children, they also charge very highly for it. They sustain on a student fee for any maintenance in the school. Payment of the teachers, maintenance, and the resources provided for the students are funded by the fees provided by the students. Some private schools follow the state prescribed board or others follow CBSE or CISE. Now let us discuss about National Open Schools, commonly known as NIOS. It is a board of education under the Union Government of India. It was established by the Ministry of Human Resource Development of the Government of India in 1989 to provide education to all the segments of society under the motive to increase literacy and aimed forward for flexible learning. The National Open School is a national board that administers examinations for secondary and senior secondary examinations similar to the CBSE and the CISCE. It offers many courses like secondary course, which is equivalent to class 10th, and senior secondary course, which is equivalent to class 12th. Now let us talk about the special needs school. Special education is for students who have challenges or abilities that can interfere with the learning. Normally, students who meet this criteria have needs that cannot be met in a regular classroom. Learning environments, teaching approaches, and curricula may need to be adapted to support them. Special schools are designed, staffed, and have the resources to provide the right support for children with unique needs. They offer student-targeted support to allow them to meet age-appropriate educational goals. They offer customized programming to meet each student's unique combination of needs. Special education is a very broad field and has many different specialties. There are 6 main types of special education within public school settings. They are push-in services, pull-out services, inclusive classrooms, exclusive education, specialty schools, and residential programs. Let us first discuss about push-in services. It is for those students with disabilities which require minimal intervention. It is beneficial for students as it allows them to remain in the general education classroom environment without disrupting their daily schedules. The next one is pull-out services. Students who struggle in reading, writing, or speech are often placed within this type of programs. This service is especially beneficial as it provides a way for students to receive direct tailored instruction to meet their unique needs. The next one is inclusive classrooms. This type of classrooms will have a mix of children of varying abilities and co-teachers within the room that allows those who have special needs to get the additional help they require while remaining in a traditional classroom settings. Within an inclusive classroom, students have opportunities to receive individualized care that meets their specific needs. Now, exclusive education. Some students benefit from being placed in smaller classrooms of students who have similar educational needs. It has lower student-to-teacher ratio. It also provides students with an environment where they can relate even more with their peers and allows them to feel understood and accepted. Now the fifth one, that is specialty schools. Those who have severe cognitive challenges and certain physical disabilities may be placed into specialty schools where individual needs can be met by a very low student-to-staff ratio. The students receive not only occupational, speech, and cognitive services, but also take advantage of other therapies to help improve their quality of life and prepare them for adulthood. The sixth one is residential programs. Residential programs are best for students who require around-the-clock care that is beyond the capability that their community can offer. The students have medical needs beyond what can be managed by an untrained individual or groups. Residential programs focuses on every aspect of student life, let it be academic, social, vocational, etc. There are long-term benefits to prepare the students to live life fully. Now I will show some pictures of schools based on their management party. But let us remember that these pictures may or may not represent all private schools or government schools. KVs and JNVs are managed quite well by the central government. Some state government schools are also providing really good facilities for the development of the students. But it might not be the case for every state schools because there are so many state schools which has very less facilities available for the students. Private schools have really good infrastructures and provide lots of facilities for the students, whether academic or extracurricular activities. But there are also some private schools which lack in funds and infrastructure too. Now, here are some special schools. That was all for my presentation. Thank you.